Welcome back to Engineered Well Pilates, and today I've got a great full body workout that's designed to stretch and strengthen pretty much everything. And all you need is a mat. I'm going to show you some ways as we go through the workout that you can make the exercises more challenging or a little bit more gentle on the body, just depending on how you're feeling today or on any given day that you do this session. So let's start by lying down. I'm going to have you just lie out completely long, completely straight on your mat. You want to feel like you're right in the middle of the mat. And you're just going to settle yourself down. Bring the arms just by your sides. Let those toes just be soft. And just start to feel the floor, the mat underneath your body. From here, you can start to bend the knees. So those feet can become flat onto the floor. And I want you to just gently rest your hands on your pelvis, on the front of those hip bones, and have a sense of whether your hands feel level, or do you feel like they're sort of slightly tipped towards you and that all of your spine is pressing into the mat, or that maybe they're tipped away from you and you've got quite a big gap underneath your lower back. And I want you to start to just bring your pelvis into a neutral plane. So that's where your hands feel quite level. There'll be a little bit of a gap underneath your lower back, but nothing too exaggerated. Your feet can be a hip width apart here, or you can bring the inner thighs and the feet together and sort of join your legs together. And now bring those arms back by your sides. You're going to take a few big breaths in here. Breathing in really wide into the sides of the rib cage, feel like you're breathing deep into the back of the rib cage, and then exhale all the way out. Start to sort of grow your breath as you inhale. Can you breathe in for longer? Can you exhale a little bit stronger? And again, breathing in nice and wide and deep, and exhaling really fully. Spine just relaxing, sinking into this nice, gentle, balanced position on the floor. Now as you lie here, you might feel that one side of your body is a bit more lifted than the other. So I want you to start to channel your breath and soften that lifted side down into the mat so that you find a balance across the body. Now don't worry if you can't feel that today. It's not necessarily going to happen in one session. So just tune in with your body at the beginning of any workout and see if you can start to connect those subtle little differences from one side to the other. The 100. Reach your fingers towards your heels. Nod your chin to your chest and start to curl your upper body up just to the tips of the shoulder blades. Now watch that you've not moved your pelvis. Is it still neutral? Can you pull your belly button in towards your spine to hold it in that nice solid position? The feet can stay down to begin. We're going to pump the arms up and down as if we're bouncing balls underneath our hands. Nice strong breaths in. And big full exhales out. Abdominals scooping in strong, pumping this air out of the body. We'll go for 2 more just like this. Just gently, just getting warmed up, feel the blood moving around your body, reaching those fingers to help curl you to the tips of those shoulder blades. 1 more full breath in. And big full exhale out. Now lift your legs to tabletop. Either one at a time or together. So now your feet are lifted with a 90-degree angle at the hip and the knee. You're still pumping the arms up and down and you're still breathing. And I want you to feel like your nose is reaching down towards your pubic bone so you've got this nice strong curl up through that upper body. Now on days when you're feeling a little bit tired or a little bit less strong, you can rest your head on the mat and keep pumping. You may even keep your feet on the floor. For days when you're feeling strong and you want more of a challenge, you're going to keep your curl up, lengthen your legs up towards the ceiling and lower them towards the floor just to a point where you don't feel your back arch and you can keep that strong connection through the abs and the back of your ribs to the floor. We'll go for 2 more full breaths. Nose always reaching towards the pubic bone. Last breath. And then lower everything down with control to your mat. The roll up, bring yourself to a seated position however you need to. We're going to start again with the legs bent, feet pressing down into the floor. Now you've got a soft bend at the knee here. It's not, their feet aren't tightened towards your bum. It's quite a shallow angle of the knee. You're going to put your hands behind your thighs, just underneath the knee, underneath that joint. And the collarbone, you want it to reach really wide, like you're trying to stretch it to the sides of the room, and those shoulders are just softly just sliding down your back. And the elbows, they're going to be a little bit bent, kind of reaching out to the sides like your collarbone. So you've got this sort of strength. Now I want you to tilt your pelvis, or I say tilt, I want you to feel it sort of slide underneath you. And you're going to pull your belly button deep in towards your spine and feel like your belly button and all your bones of your spine are pulling backwards towards the mat, one bone at a time. You'll feel yourself start to round backwards, and you're going to go only to a point for this first one where you keep your feet on the floor and all your arms go straight. If you feel your feet start to lift, you've gone too far, and just nice and gentle to begin. Now pull your abs in even deeper and curl up and over your belly to the top. And you're going to round it down. Pelvis slides under, belly button pulls in deep, and the bones of your back pull down towards the floor one at a time. Now pull the abs in and the ribs backwards to come back up to the top. And we'll do one more like that. Round the spine back, nose looking in towards the navel, and then curl up and back up to the top. Now if that felt okay, you're going to straighten out your legs. We'll go straight to the straight leg position. If that was a challenge, just keep the legs bent. You can always release your hands and reach your hands forwards. That is sort of a next level. But otherwise, you're going to take your legs completely straight and you're going to reach your hands forwards so the fingertips are in line with your shoulders. Slide that pelvis underneath you. Feel those feet reach away from you as you pull back the abdominals in opposition. Two-way stretch from those feet to the belly and every single bone as it touches the mat one at a time. The head will touch the mat, the arms will reach to the ceiling. Now nod your chin to your chest, just like we did in the 100. And pull the ribs in backwards, pull the abs backwards as you peel yourself back up all the way to the top, and then reach forward for the toes and stretch. Nose towards your knees. Slide the pelvis underneath you. Pull the belly button back and try and touch your spine to the floor, one bone at a time. Head touches, hands to the ceiling. Nod your chin to your chest and peel yourself up like you're a piece of Velcro, picking up one bit at a time. Stretch forward for the toes, nose to knees. Round it back down. Check in with your shoulders. Watch that they've not crept forwards. And peel yourself back up. Can you pull the ribs back deeper and the abs back deeper as you lift up? And then stretch forwards, two more. Now remember, you can soften your knees at any point, particularly on the way up. Sometimes it's easy to get stuck. If you feel yourself get stuck, just curl up to that point that you get to. You don't want to veer off to one side, so if you can't get up anymore, just bend those knees, find the back of your thighs with your hands and curl all the way up to the top. We'll do one more, just rounding that spine all the way down. I'll take you through that little variation again. Nod your chin to your chest to curl up. Bend the knees, let your hands find the back of the thighs and pull yourself, coming backwards through the belly all the way to the top. Now let's lie all the way back down and stay down. We're going to go into one leg circles. So both legs can go straight. You're going to bring your right knee in towards your chest and just have a little bit of a hug. And then lengthen that leg up towards the ceiling. Either straight or with a soft bend at the knee. Or if you feel clicky in the hip joint, just let the foot hang heavy, be in a tabletop leg, just do what feels comfortable for you. Put your hands onto your hips. Has one side of your pelvis dropped, or are you still nice and level? Just try and even yourself out using the belly, the abdominals, and using your breath. we're going to circle this top leg around as if you've a light pen on your kneecap or your toes and you're just making a little circle on the ceiling. Just nice and loose to begin, nice and small. I want you to see if you can stop your ribs from rocking from side to side. Can you keep everything completely still so that the only movement is coming from that leg, that thigh? Okay, we're going to circle the opposite way. Abs pulling in, ribs nice and heavy. No rocking and rolling through your body. Let's go for 2 more. And last one, and lower that leg down to your mat. We're going to change legs. So you're going to bring your left leg down in towards your chest. You can have that nice hug. Just feel it might feel different to the other leg. And now you're going to lengthen your leg up towards the ceiling, either straight with a soft bend, or you can keep it in your tabletop position. Again, check in with the hips. Do they feel level? Does one side feel more lifted than the other? Can you try and adjust that with your breath and with your abdominals? We're going to circle this top leg around. You'll have to excuse it. My dog has decided to have his breakfast, and so you might be able to hear some crunching. So nice little circles of this leg. Again, if you feel any clicking in the joint, you might want to soften the knee more. Can you keep those ribs and those hips still? And just isolate the movement to the leg. Let's circle the other way. Scoop out the abdominals. Pull back those ribs. Nice strong arms and strong body. Last circle. Lengthen the leg all the way down. Okay, let's do a little bit more ab work. So pull your right knee in towards your chest again. Your hands can go behind the thigh, or if you feel the flexibility in your body, you might be able to reach your right hand towards your right ankle and your left hand to your right knee. Just go to where you feel comfortable. So either one hand on the ankle, one hand on the knee, or both hands behind your thigh. You're going to nod your chin towards your chest and curl up to the tips of the shoulder blades again, pulling backwards through the ribs and scooping out the abdominals. Now your left leg is going to float up, and you're going to float it up either straight towards the ceiling, that's a little bit easier, or to a low diagonal. Pull this right knee in towards your chest, and we're going to switch legs, bending in the left, straightening out the right. So now your hands are either behind your left thigh, or you've got your left hand on your left ankle and your right hand on your left knee. Pull that leg into your chest, and we switch. Right leg bends in, left leg stretches out. Switch. Left leg bends in, right leg stretches out. And switch. Now as you move, can you keep your hips still? Can you keep your body from rocking from side to side by using those abdominals and hugging your middle? Hug your middle. Last set. Last one. Hug both the knees into your chest and rest your head down. And you're going to rock from side to side. Just a nice little massage along the spine before we go into our double leg stretch. So double leg stretch. Nod your chin to your chest and curl up. Your legs are tucked in towards your body, so you're in like a tight little ball shape with those hands on the shin bones. See if you can really press your bum, your tailbone down in towards your mat. Just feel that nice length through the spine. We want to keep that as we move. So from here, lengthen your arms and your legs up towards the ceiling, keeping the legs glued together. Reach here, nose is reaching towards your belly button, and your ribs are not popping off the mat. So actively push those top ribs, those front ribs, down in towards your back ribs. We're going to circle the arms around once and then pull the knees into the chest. And we reach up, arms and legs straight. Circle the arms once, pull the knees to the chest. And we reach. If this is easy, lower the legs, take the arms behind you. Circle the arms, pull the knees into the chest. And lengthen. Keep those ribs down, don't let them pop. Pull the knees into the chest. Last one, lengthen arms and the legs out. Pull those ribs in, circle the arms and hug the knees into the chest. Rest everything down, rest those feet down, the head down, and just roll your head from side to side. You can sway your knees from side to side and then just come and pause right back in the middle. We've got one more exercise here. So keeping those ribs flat and pressed into the floor. Remember, we don't want any change through the position of the spine. We don't want any arching of the back. You're going to bring your legs into tabletop, one at a time. Okay, so the feet are in the air and you've got this 90-degree angle at the hip and the knee. We're going to start to lower this shape away from our body, as if you're reaching your knees away from your belly. You should feel a little tremor sort of happen around the belly button and then come back up to the top. So it's a nice small movement. I want you to take these knees away from your body to that point where you feel that tremor, or you can't keep your ribs down into the floor anymore. We'll go for 3 more. Zip those inner thighs together, lower this shape away from your body and scoop the legs back in. Knees stretch away from the belly. Pull them back in. Last one, keep pressing those ribs down, down, heavier ribs, heavier ribs. See that tremor of truth, and then set those feet one at a time onto the floor and slowly bring yourself up to seated. Either just rolling onto one side and coming up, or doing a full roll up like we did at the start. Legs out long, nod your chin to your chest and lift yourself up like Velcro, one bone at a time, all the way to the top. Open your legs out now to the width of your mat. And I want you to feel like you're sitting up really tall out of your hips. You can put a little hand on your lower back, just make sure it's not rounded, you're not sort of dumped down in your lower back. Maybe give yourself a little push. Can you push yourself to sit up taller? Now at this point, if you feel it through the front of your hips, sometimes it can be a bit pinchy, or if you feel like you can't sit up tall, I want you to soften your knees, keep digging the heels down into the mat, or you might want to get a cushion and just sit up on a cushion. Basically, I want you to feel comfortable. Now lift your arms up, so the fingertips are in line with your shoulders. You're going to have a sense of there being something underneath your hands that you're softly pushing down on with no movement. So just have this sense of pushing against something with those hands, and you should feel the back switch on. You should feel that as you push down against that imaginary something, you can grow a little bit taller through your spine and sit up out of those hips a little bit more. And from here, without lowering the arms, I want you to nod your chin to your chest and start to round yourself forwards over your thighs. You're going to reach these fingertips forwards as you pull back through the abdominals, as you lift through those ribs and you round. Nose is now pointing straight down towards your mat. And now lift the spine back up tall and straight, and we're going to add in our breath. So we're going to inhale and grow tall. We're going to exhale, nod our chin to our chest and round forwards like you've a huge pile of stinging nettles in your mat and you don't want to touch them. How much can you lift up and over those stinging nettles? Lift up tall to the top. 3 more. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to round that spine, to stretch that body and come all the way up. 2 more. Inhale up and exhale, round. Pick up the back of the rib cage. Can you pull it towards the top of your wall? Stretch forwards, feel that big lift and come all the way up. And this is your last one. Rounding forwards, just watch those shoulders haven't crept forward, that your fingers haven't touched down towards the toes, and then come all the way back up. Rest those arms down, bring your legs together, and we're going to roll to the floor. Roll all the way down, 1 bone at a time for bridge. So now those arms are back by your sides. You're going to re-bend the legs so the feet can find the floor. And again, your legs can either, or your feet can either be a hip width apart or completely glued together. I want you to push those hips up into the air. Lift. And now roll your spine one bone at a time back down towards the mat. Squeeze the bum. Feel it lift those hips from underneath. And roll the spine all the way down, one bone at a time. Keep going. Inhale to lift. Exhale all of the air to melt your spine down to the floor. So I love bridges. They're a really nice way to connect with the body, to see, are you swaying from side to side, or can you really hug your midline and keep the whole body working evenly and as one? Do you feel your heels almost pulling back towards your bottom, and that sort of firing up the underside of the body even more? And can you keep lifting those hips right until the very end, so it's your spine that touches that mat first, then the hips follow at the end. Let's go for 2 more. Lift, hug your inner thighs together, soften the chest, lengthen the waist all the way down to the bottom. Here's your last one. Strong bridge. Melt your spine all the way down. Now from here, nod your chin to your chest, reach your fingers towards your heels. I'm going to let you find the back of your thighs with those hands. Check your pelvis is nice and neutral. And now keep pulling those ribs backwards as you curl all the way up to a seated position. And then swing yourself round. Cross your legs. And we're going to do mermaid. Now, if it's uncomfortable for you to sit with your legs crossed, you can have them out in front of you. Or you can sit on a chair or a cushion. Again, just go somewhere where it feels really comfortable for your body. And you've got a bit of contact underneath your buttocks, underneath your sits bones. I'm going to do a nice side stretch here. So I'm going to put my right hand on the mat next to me for a bit of support. I'm going to bring my left hand up towards the ceiling. Nice long fingers. I'm going to have this sense of the fingers, I'm reaching them up to the ceiling, and that reach is going to pull my whole torso out of my pelvis. So I'm going to grow, I'm going to get taller. And now I'm going to keep reaching through my fingertips as I stretch over to the right hand side, pressing my left hip down into the floor to keep me strong. And now my abs are going to lift me back up to the middle, and I'm going to stretch over to the right again. Side stretch. Abs lift you back up. So try not to use this right hand, and stretch over again to the side. And big lift of the abs, come all the way back up. I'm going to do 2 more. Stretching over to the right. Watch that left hip's not lifting. Abs pick you back up to the top. And here's your last one. Big stretch over. And now drop your top hand and place it on top of your bottom hand. I want you to twist, rotate through your spine and look over your back shoulder. And then carefully untwist. Come back to the center. You're going to cross your legs the other way, and we're going to do the other side. So now my left hand is on the floor. My right hand is reaching up towards the ceiling with long fingers, and I'm going to stretch over to the side, pressing my right hip now down into the floor from my belly. I'm obviously not using my hands. And now use my abdominals to lift me back up to the top. And I stretch over to the left, and I lift back up to the top. And we've got 2 more. Big side bend. Abs pick you back up. And this is your last one. Stretching over, dropping that top hand down so you can rotate and look over your back shoulder. And then carefully untwist, come back to the middle. And that is the end of your full body workout. I hope that you do feel stretched and strengthened. Please let me know how you found it in the comments below. Like the video, ring the bell or subscribe to get more Pilates videos just for you. I'm Emma, Engineered Well Pilates. See you soon. Bye.